Welcome back to the show. I am still here with Braunwyn Windham-Burke from the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Hi.
I'm so happy that you were here. And I was just saying to you earlier, it's like you've given this great jolt to the Real Housewives of OC. I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
I mean, you are an amazing woman. You have 7 kids. You have a husband, a business, and you still manage to look like a 10. How about that?
Wrangle a family of 9 and still look like a 10.
How do you juggle it all?
I have a lot of help.
Okay.
I really have to give credit where it's due. I have 2 amazing nannies. I have an amazing housekeeper.
Amazing.
My husband helps out. He's a full-time parent too.
Yeah.
And my older kids, they've learned that the world does not revolve around them, and you have to chip in, and we're a family first.
That's awesome.
So
I love that.
It really has been a team effort. I think when this first started, my older kid said, "Mom, you've supported our dreams our whole life. It's our turn to support you."
And we're done now.
We are. We did IVF for our younger ones, so we are out of embryos. We are done.
All right, cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're at the end of that. Now, last week, you went for a little bit of a swim in the lady pond. You were making out with Tamra Judge. I want to know what your husband, Sean, thought of that.
I mean, he thought I was funny.
Okay,
My husband's known me since I was 18. And I've always, had a little taste for women and men. I didn't know I had to pick one, I grew up in a very progressive family. So for me, my husband has known that sometimes if I drink too much or if I'm out or whatever, if it's Tuesday, whatever, sometimes it just happens. So he thought it was funny, and he knows it's all in good fun. I mean, he is the love of my life. We are such a strong couple. So he knew it was funny. And Tamra is one of my best friends. So, she's become one of my best mentors on the show. So
that's great.
it was one, obvious. I mean, you can tell we were literally falling down drunk. So, I mean, it was one super fun, crazy night. We all got along, and I didn't realize how affected people were going to get by that.
Did they really freak out? You get a lot of backlash about it?
I did. People really freaked out. I did not see that coming. I'm going to say I honestly did not see that coming.
I much prefer spreading love than hate, so.
Yeah, I'm a lover.
Exactly, a little bit of a makeout. And you've also been honest on the show about the fact that you and your husband have partaken in threesomes.
Yeah.
How did your kids handle that? Did they know about it before?
Well, they knew about it before it aired.
Okay.
So anytime anything happened on the show, I told them right away. So they had, I think it's about 5 to 6 months that we have to prepare them. My kids are very lucky that they go to a very progressive art school in Orange County.
Oh, nice.
And so many of their friends are, they're gay, they're transgender. I often say on the first day of school, it's so nice that they ask, what pronoun do you prefer? So the people that my kids are surrounded by, they don't judge, you know? So I can see how in other parts of the world or country, maybe that would be an issue, but it really hasn't for mine. And when I told my kids, they were like, okay, that's cool. One of my kids like, oh yeah, I like both too. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm so glad that was easy conversation for you to have with me.
That's awesome. You're raising sex-positive, open children. That's really cool.
And we've always been very open about gender and sexuality in our family, so it really has not been a big deal.
Are your DMs getting flooded with people looking for third?
Yes.
Wow.
I will say I've learned the hard way that if someone sends me a photo or video not to click on it. But that's actually not the majority of them. I've been getting a lot from a lot of teenagers who haven't come out of the closet yet and are scared to tell their parents, who are like, I'm going to tell you, what do you think I should do? I've also gotten it from a lot of women who are like, I've always thought I was the only one that felt this way. Like, I'm happily married, but I've always had these other things, these other feelings, and it's nice to know that that's normal.
That's really, really cool.
That's the part that I focus on. Yes, some people are like, this is awful or whatever, but I mean.
Is there a housewife from another franchise or even from your cast besides Tamra who you may want to invite into the bedroom?
Absolutely not. Now, this is not something we do often. This has been like some crazy fun nights. We've been together for almost 25 years now.
Wow.
I think it's something that happens if it does, but it's not anything that we plan or whatever. This is just, Sean and I have experienced everything together. I've been with the same man since I was 18.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So, every crazy experience has been with him. Are there certain housewives that are beautiful? Absolutely, but no.
But you're just going to stop there. Well, I love that you and Sean seem to have a really strong bond, but I have to ask a question about his love of statement necklaces.
Yes.
He seems to, we are showing some here on the board right now, he seems to love a good statement necklace. What do you think about these?
So we spend our summers in Kauai, and these are all made by a local artisan there.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Kauai carver. He's one of the few original Kauaians. And so they're made with love and intentions, and there's like a sacred prayer that he gives when he gives them to my husband.
Oh my God.
So people give my husband a lot of flack for this, but this memory and the statement and the love behind it, he doesn't care.
I just love that it's like that he's expressing himself and that everybody is so loving and supportive.
And he doesn't care what people say. He's like, whatever.
Yeah. You also opened up on the show about your daughter Rowan's health battles.
Yes.
You talked about the fact that she suffered from OCD. You said she had a really intense weight loss, right? 25 pounds, I think, from going through it.
So her OCD has manifested in an eating disorder.
Yeah.
And she's doing much better. At this time last year, I really wasn't sure if she was going to live or die. I mean, it was that bad. We had to put her into inpatient. She's doing much better, but it's still an everyday struggle. You know, even today she's here with me on press. We have to bring her own food, and it's still very, regimented and measured out. So I don't want to put a happy face like, oh, that was there, now we're better. You know, this is an ongoing lifetime battle she will have with, therapy and medication, and, it's good today.
What have you learned from going through this? What advice you would give somebody else if they were going through it?
To talk about it, that you're not alone. I think out of everything, that has been what I've gotten the most DMs about, has been from moms and children who had never seen or heard of anyone else having this.
Yeah.
So to just start talking about it because you're not alone.
That's great advice, great advice. Now let's talk a little bit about the drama. It doesn't seem like you hit it off right away with Vicki Gunvalson. She doesn't seem to be your biggest fan. Let's take a look at this moment from last week's episode.
Braunwyn's trash. We all just met Braunwyn. Stop trying to be the center of attention all the time. It's annoying.
Okay. I don't want to do this whole Braunwyn sexy dancing. Don't leave. I try to watch it. I want to be around it. All right.
Woof. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, I don't think it's sexy dancing. I think that's just dancing.
That was just dancing. It looked like normal dancing to me.
Luckily for me, those aren't words that hurt my feelings. There's some people that those would affect them. For me, it's not. I was having a great time. I can understand why this would be hard for Vicki. this is her first year not holding an orange, and it's easy probably to look for a reason or a scapegoat, and I'm that person. But I mean, I take whatever someone says with a grain of salt, because usually it says more about them than me.
That's true. That's true. Now, you were also there when that iconic moment now happened that Kelly kind of knocked Shannon over the head with the bowl.
Yes.
You seem to be a little bit on Kelly's side, but you didn't really speak up. I'm curious what your thoughts are now watching it back.
I was very new at that time, and I didn't really want to rock the boat. I was kind of mortified. I really wish Kelly had taken the whole thing seriously. You can tell she went to that retreat laughing it all off. And it was important to Shannon. So I kind of kept my mouth shut because I was, rooming with Kelly and Emily that day, but I felt horrible for Shannon. So I actually ended up apologizing to Shannon afterwards, saying, hey, I'm really sorry I didn't stick up for you more, because I did feel bad about my behavior then, because it wasn't indicative of who I am as a person.
It really felt like Kelly was maybe struggling and projecting that anger or frustration in that sort of way. Do you think that there was more going on that we saw?
I think sometimes when Kelly is attacked, instead of saying sorry, she kind of lashes out even more.
Right.
I love Kelly. She has a heart of gold. And we do have similar ways of dealing with things. So when people are being mean, sometimes we attack back. So I think instead of saying I screwed up, she just doubled down.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now it is time for our Just Between Us questions from Housewives to Housewives.
Oh.
Your friend Carrie Brittingham of the Real Housewives of Dallas was here last week and left a question just for you. Let's see what she had to say.
Oh, how cute.
Hey, Braunwyn, which Dallas housewife would you want to steal to be in Orange County with you?
Oh my God, that for sure would be Carrie.
You're gonna take Carrie?
Yes, of course. So Carrie and we became friends as new housewives.
Oh,
so we reached out on our own through social media. She has helped me with my Cancer Cartel fundraiser. Our daughters are gonna be at the same school.
My gosh.
I mean, I love her. She's like the sister, that my housewife sister. So definitely Carrie.
I mean, she loves dancing on tables. She's a big party girl. I would love to see you two go out.
I spent like the most of the last decade in Miami.
Oh, wow.
So our energies are very similar. We have that same like fun Latin salsa vibe going on.
Well, take note, Bravo. That's a perfect crossover.
Yes, absolutely.
Lastly, I'm going to ask you about your mom, Dr. Deb, who I think is a huge breakout on the show. It seems that tonight she gets into a little bit of a dramatic situation. What can you tease about what happens?
The whole time on the boat was crazy. Keep in mind, it's the 3-level boat, so I didn't see everything that was happening. But when the night started to come together, I was learning all this crazy stuff. So it was the people that were running it. they just wanted to create drama, I feel like. And my mom, you know, the way she looks sometimes, she attracts it. And so, you know, someone grabbed her and she didn't like that. And my mom's not gonna back down.
She got loud.
She can get loud.
I appreciate that about her, though.
Yeah.
She's a star, I think.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought her on the show. And next time you come, will you bring her back so I can hang with her too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much for hanging out. I had so much fun with you.
Hi.
Guys, don't forget to watch The Real Housewives of Orange County every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Bravo.